still hear your voice in songs you never liked, like you left pieces in the quiet night. The shirt you gave still fits too well and smells like August and things we never tell. I said I'd move on, and maybe I have, but no one makes me forget you like that. I still call you mine, but only in silence. I say your name when there's no one to mind it, and even if years pull us apart, you still live here somewhere in my heart. I try to laugh with someone new, but they didn't echo the way you do. Your hands knew the spaces I hide. They held me close without asking why. I write you down in songs I won't share, and love you quiet when no one's there. I still call you mine, not for the world to see, but in the stillness you still live with me. I hold your face like a secret prayer. You're gone, but you're still there. This isn't regret, it's not moving slow, it's just some loves don't fully go. I still call you mine in ways I can't show, not with words, but with letting you go. And maybe you've healed, and maybe you've tried, but I still love you from the quiet side. I saw you smile, but not at me. I wrote you down in poetry. You walk in wind I never reach. You speak so loud, but not to me. I play out scenes you never act. I wait for signs you don't send back. You live in light, I stand outside. You say we're fine, I never tried. From this far, you look like home, but in your arms I'm still alone. I told myself this was enough, but every word just feels like bluff. You never knew what I would play. You smiled and left, I stayed that day. You call it kind to not go deep, but I still dream and never sleep. From this far, you seem so clear, but up this close, you disappear. I let you stay with empty hands. From this far, I learned your name, but never felt you did the same. I loved you loud, you loved in space, and now I miss what had no place. My skin feels heavy, like I'm wearing regret. You asked what's wrong, and I just said not yet. Your kindness stings like something I owe. I smile and nod, but wish you go. It's not that I don't care, I just don't know how to let someone in when I'm breaking down. I feel too much for you to see me. You're not too soft, but it still bleeds me. I want your love, but it burns right through. I wish I was someone who could handle you. You stay too long, and I hold my breath. You say I'm here, and I feel the depth. I don't want silence, but noise feels worse. And even your warmth can feel like a curse. I'm tired of hiding in rooms full of light. I just need space to lose this fight. I feel too much for you to see me. Your hands are soft, but they still freeze me. I need your arms, but not too tight. I need some dark to miss the light. I know it's selfish to push you out when all you do is love without doubt, but I need to be alone, not unloved. Please don't confuse this quiet for enough. I feel too much, but I still care. If I pull away, it's not that you're not there. Just let me fall where no one sees. Then maybe one day I'll come back to me. I gave you Sunday in every storm. You took the calm but left the form. I told you things I never wrote. You smiled once and called it note. I stayed when loud, you stayed when fine. You said I care but drew a line. You got the light but not the burn. I opened up, you didn't learn. I gave gave too much of me to someone still closed. I said it all, you just froze. I showed my worst, you stayed polite. I cried in full, you dimmed the light. You liked my calm, not what came through. You held the best, not what was true. You let me give, but gave control. You stayed around, but not whole. I gave too much of me in hands not wide. You touched the top, I showed the inside. I gave the pain, you left the song. You stayed soft when I stayed alone. You didn't break me, you just stood while I kept giving more than you could. I gave too much of me, and that's the ache. You watched me pour, but didn't take. You held the smile, I held the cry, and that's the part you walk by. Dear me, dear me, I know you tried to hold the weight and still survive. You made excuses for the cold, thought if you stay, you'd not feel old. But nights like that were not your fault. You've been too far, you lost your pulse. Come back now, you've waited long. You missed your name to feel belong. Take that voice and let it sound. Don't shrink again when they come round. You are not what they erased. You are not the love you chased. Dear me, you gave too much and called it care and called it trust. But hearts like yours don't break in one. They crack in places soft and dumb. But you kept light where none was left, and still said thanks for taking less. Come back now to hands you knew. You let them leave but not lose you. Speak again like you begin. Don't need permission to be skin. You are not their quiet room. You are not the pain they bloom. You stayed kind when torn apart, so write again from where you start. Come back now, don't wait for signs. You're not behind, you were just kind. Take that love you learned to make and give it first to your own name. You are here, you still remain. You are home when you reclaim. We don't fight, but we don't try. You ask you good, I say I might. You make the tea, I stir the room. You leave the light, but not the gloom. We talk in lines we don't believe. I pack my thoughts before you leave. We're not loud, but we're not close. You still stay, but no one knows. Where do we go now? If this is the end, we didn't break, we just don't bend. I hold your hand, you hold the door. We're still here, but less than before. You hum a song I used to like. I'm not alone, but miss the spike. We shared a bed, but not the weight. We lost the spark, then closed the gate. We eat in peace, but sleep alone. We talk of plans, but feel unknown. Where do we go now? If we don't feel, you stay the frame, I fake the real. We write the list, but miss the start. We check the box, but lose the heart. You ask what's wrong, I say just late. We love in form, but not in fate. Where do we go now? If love stands still, we share the name, but not the will. We made it far, but not all through. Where do we go when I can't find you? I passed by the bench, we carved our names. They faded now, but I still see the shapes. The sky that day was a kind of blue that made it feel like things would stay true. Time is quiet like a thief at night. Takes without warning, never asks if it's right. If I had known then what I know now, I'd have held your hand just a little more proud. To get things done, I'd stop and breathe while we were still one. Your shoes on the mat were the last to go. I stepped around them like they still meant home. The clock kept ticking, but not for us. It moved us us forward, then left the dust. I thought we had a longer line, but love ran out before the time. If I had known then how fast it slips, I'd have kissed you slow and never skipped. I'd memorize the sound you made when you said nothing but chose to stay. Now I sit with what won't come back, a future we lost on a faded track, and all I can do is write it down to feel you near without the sound. If I had known then this would be the end, I'd have loved you like it couldn't bend. But maybe love was meant to break, so we'd remember what we couldn't take. Talk less now when you're around. Choose my words so you won't drown. I wear your silence like perfume, hoping you'll notice when I leave the room. I don't know when I got this small, but you hold me like I'm worth it all. I shrink for you just to stay close, hide who I am so you love me most. You break me down with gentle hands, and I say I'm fine so you understand. You said I'm strong but not too loud. You're too much when I'm too proud. I learned to bend before I break, but now I wonder what it takes to feel like me without your name, and love myself without your frame. 'Cause I shrink for you in every way, to be the kind of girl you'd stay. I miss myself but not enough when you're the only kind of love. I built a room inside your world and called it safe just to be your girl, but safe and small are not the same, and love like this can't keep its name. I shrink for you, but now I see the cost of love shouldn't be me. If I walk out and you stay still, I'll grow again even if it kills. We tried to stay past breaking points, held on tight to fractured joints. I said we're fine with quiet fear, but love can't fix what won't appear. We spoke in sighs, we slept apart. I touched your hand, but missed your heart. Turns out love isn't always enough. Sometimes it breaks, even when it's tough. We gave it all, but lost our way. You're still the one I let me walk away. You smile less, I notice late. We filled the air, but not our fate. You kissed my head, but not my mind. And we both stayed past the right time. Some loves are loud, ours faded slow. We love too much to truly let go. Turns out love can't hold every fight. We wanted truth, but lied just right. You needed space, I needed peace, and that's how we chose release. Still make amends. Turns out love isn't always the key. We locked the door and lost the way. But I won't say it was a waste. You were my home, just not my place. Saw your name in someone's smile. Knew you left a while ago. Your jacket's gone from my backseat. You found a hand that feels more complete. I still rewind what we once had, but life moves on without a map. I hope she's kind when you forget to close your heart or clean regret. I hope she laughs when morning's slow and tells you things you need to know. I'm not okay, but that's alright. I wouldn't wish you less than light. You loved me once, and maybe still, but time ain't bent our better will. I hold no grudge, just something thin, a line you crossed without coming in. I hope she's kind in all the ways I couldn't be on heavier days. I hope she stays when storms begin and never asks who I have been. Some loves don't have someone to blame. They just break without a flame. I hope she's kind, not perfect, no, but warming enough to let you grow. I hope she sees what I still do. You're worth the love I never knew. 'Cause 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 'c want it anymore. Smells like last fall in your old car, like late night talks under quiet stars. I should have tossed it like the plans we made, but some things stay when memories fade. Your old hoodie still fits like then, not just the fabric, but who I've been. I wear it now when nights get cold. A piece of you I still hold. You weren't perfect, and neither was I. We hurt in ways we didn't try, but that old sleeve knows my tears, so I keep it close through quiet years. You taught me love and how it breaks, but also how a heart remakes. Your old hoodie still calms my storms, like your arms did when the world felt worn. It's just a thread, but means much more than all the fights we tried to ignore. I've forgiven, but won't forget. You left a mark with no regret. And if I'm stronger, it's 'cause of this, the kind of love that still exists. Your old hoodie won't bring you back, but it holds the weight of what we lacked. And maybe now I see it clear. Some loves leave, but still feel near. You ask me what, I say it's fine, but you don't hear what's not in line. You scroll your phone, I count the time. You're here with me, but not in mind. I share a thought, you're not too fast. I tell a joke, you let it pass. You're not cruel, but not quite near. You hold my hand, but not my fear. I'm still here, but still missing. You say love, but stop listening. Sleep so still, I watch the wall. I speak in dreams, you miss them all. You say we're fine, I smile, delay. You kiss my hair, then drift away. We share a bed, but not the weight. You show up, but not too late. And I'm still here, but still fading. You hold the form, but not the meaning. touch, but not the same. You didn't leave, but you don't stay. You're in the room, but far away. I'm still here, still reaching through. You love the shell, but not the truth. You hold my hands, but miss my eyes, and that's the part I can't disguise. Told me you needed time, so I gave you silence. You said you weren't ready, so I kept my distance. I watched your name go dim on my phone screen. Thought maybe that meant you were missing me, but you moved on like it didn't count, like we were just a pause between other things. You smiled in your photos with someone new, like it didn't mean a thing. I'm not saying you cheated, but it feels like you did. Not with your hands, but with the way you forget. You laughed too soon, you look too okay, and I'm still learning how to fake the same. 'Cause you moved on like it didn't count, like we were just a stop on your way through. I gave you time, you gave it to her, like you already knew. I keep telling myself you didn't lie, but there's a way to leave that still feels like goodbye. You moved on like it didn't count, and maybe that says enough. You said you cared, but you cared too fast, and I was never enough. You smiled today like nothing broke. I watched you walk without a note. I stayed a while outside your street. You didn't know, you didn't see. I held the time we left behind and said your name inside my mind. You found someone who makes you laugh. I hope she gets your better half. If you're happy, then I'll be quiet. I won't call, won't start a riot. I won't ask for one more word. You looked okay, and that still hurts. But if you're smiling, I'll let it burn. I wrote you songs I'll never share. You gave me peace, then left me there. You changed your shoes, I changed my voice. You walked away, I called it choice. I kept our names and notes I wrote. You moved on without a quote. If you're happy, I'll say I'm fine. Even if you're not still mine, I'll take the ache if that's the cost. You found a win, I took the loss. This wasn't fair, but it was real. And some goodbyes are how we heal. If you're happy, I'll close this page. I'll stop the songs I used to play. You're somewhere warm, I'm letting go. And maybe now you'll never know. I held the door, you didn't look back. I said your name, you stayed on track. I cleaned the mess you didn't see. I made us strong before God me. You talk like love was still intact, but every word just echoed back. I asked for time, you gave me space. I needed hands, you left no trace. I tried, you let it fade. I stayed while you walked away. I broke my voice to keep it right, but nothing held through one more night. This isn't how I thought we'd break. You said I care, but turned your head. I set the table, you left it unsaid. I packed your things, you missed the sign. I answered love, you changed the love. I reached for you through every doubt. I gave my all, you let it out. I told you let it fade. I stayed while you walked away. I watched us fall in quiet steps. You called it peace, I called it less. Maybe love isn't always loud. Maybe this was meant to drown. I tried, you let it fade. I stayed till there was nothing to save. I gave, you looked away. I I still fold your side of the bed like you're coming back, even when I know you're not and haven't been. But letting go feels like a sin. I walk past where you'd wait for me. I straight ahead, but my heart still sees. I've told myself 100 times, but I keep hoping you'll reply. You don't haunt me like before, but you still knock on my memory's door. And I'm almost letting go, like water slipping through my hole. Your voice, it fades, but not all the way. Some days it leaves, some days it stays. I'm not broken, but I'm not whole. Just tired of carrying what I can't control. So here I am, soft and slow, almost ready to let you go. I deleted our playlist last week, then cried when it played on repeat. Grief's a loop, not a line, and I'm walking mine. This isn't hate, this isn't love, just the quiet space where both show up. And I'm almost letting go. You don't visit like you used to, though. The ache is dull, the pictures blur. I'm not who I was with her. It's not goodbye, just moving slow, almost ready to let you go. You hummed the same line every time you got nervous, and now it plays when I brush my teeth or wait for the bus. You used to sing out of tune, but like you meant it. I smiled into the fridge light, hoping you'd say something sweet. You didn't, but I held that silence like lyrics. You never said goodbye, but the music did. You left your song in my head, and now I can't unhear you. In mornings, in dishes, in elevator spaces, your voice still finds me when you don't. I keep my headphones in, just in case your melody wanders back. But now I skip the second verse, 'cause that's where you always smiled. I don't miss you out loud, but I sing you in whispers. You left your song in my head, but I'm learning to let the silence sing back. And this is the last line I let you have. You're still a sound, but not a song. said I'd be careful. You said just feel. Now I'm knee deep in questions. You never tried to heal. I told myself to take it slow, but you were louder than I know. And now I don't know where I end and where your shadow begins. It felt like falling, but I never thought I'd hit the bottom. I'm too far in to pull back now. You said breathe, but taught me how to drown. It's not love if I can't sleep, but I keep showing up just to feel you leave. And I try to call it what it's not, but truth doesn't lie when your hands forgot. I'm too far in to not feel lost. I gave you soft, you turned it sharp. I wrote in color, you tore it apart. And you smiled like I was safe, but now I carry all your weight. And now who's safe? Oh, so buried away. You didn't ask for all of me, but you never told me to keep anything. I'm too far in to save myself. You said I care, then love someone else. It's not love if it breaks this deep, but I still lay down where you used to sleep. And I try to forget the cost, but I'm too far in to not feel lost. He texted, "How are you?" And I stared like the question was a trick. How do I answer when the last time you saw me I was whole? Now I'm fine, but fractured. And no, you don't get to know the difference. You don't get to care from far away. Don't ask if I'm okay. You don't want the truth, you want the version where I still smile for you. But this isn't that, and I'm not here for pretending. You gave up the right to hold my answers when you stopped listening. I don't owe you comfort in my pain, so no, don't ask if I'm okay, said, hey, been a while. With that smile I used to fall for, but it didn't cut this time, not like before. You asked if I still write songs about things that went all wrong, but I don't, not since you, and not for long. You looked around like the past could fit, but baby, I don't live in it. I'm not the same me who cried when you left, not the girl who clung to every breath. I've outgrown the need to be seen by someone who once chose to leave. I'm not the same me. You said you thought we had a spark, but love shouldn't leave so many marks. I smiled and said we had our part. I forgave you before you asked, not for you, but for my past. I'm not the same me you used to hold. I learned to bloom on my own. You were a chapter, not the whole. I closed that book and took back my soul. I'm not the same. You don't know me. I used to wonder if you still check my page, if your friends ever mention my name by mistake. I'd rehearse 100 questions, none of them brave, just soft little echoes of what I couldn't say. But I don't ask anymore. I don't stay up late tracing old patterns just to feel safe. I stopped holding space you didn't ask me to keep, and that silence finally lets me sleep. I pass by a corner, but I don't slow down. Your ghost doesn't reach me the way it used to now. Maybe I'm colder, or maybe I'm clear. Either way, you're no longer here. I don't ask anymore, not even in my head. I stopped trying to rewrite what you said. I let go without needing more, and that's the peace I was always looking for. I passed that cafe where you said too much, the same crack on the window, still catching the sun. And is not missing you, just remembering. I remember, but it doesn't hurt like watching a movie. I've already learned the plot was broken, the ending unsure, but now I just smile and walk past the blur. Your jacket's still folded in the back of my shelf, but it smells like dust now, not like yourself. There's no fire, not even smoke, just the soft peace of letting go. I remember, but it doesn't burn. You were a chapter I no longer return. It ended with pages to spare, but I closed it without needing repair. I held your hand without thinking, and that more than I said. You asked if this felt real, and I almost said yes, but I smiled instead. Not because I didn't feel it, but because I did. I'm still learning what safe feels like, but I love you without the fear. No shadows underneath your words, no second guessing every glance. I love you without checking how close the door is. You don't ask for proof, you just show up. You don't fix what's broken, you sit with it. I waited so long to feel this, and now it's quiet and kind. I love you without the fear. I don't flinch when it's quiet, I don't run when it's soft. I love you with both feet in, and I don't want to leave. didn't ask why I flinch when it's quiet. You just stayed and let the silence soften. I don't know where this is going, but I know how it feels. There's no rush, no wait, no finish line. We're chasing just your hand and the calm it brings. I'm not afraid to fall a little slow this time. You smile like it's not trying to fix me, and I don't flinch when you mean what you say. Maybe I needed someone who lets me breathe and doesn't fill in every blank I carry. There's no rush, no spark we have to prove. Just small hours that start to feel like home. I'm not afraid to love this gently, and if it fades, at least it was kind. My room feels different, but maybe it's me. I left the light on for who I used to be. I cut my hair just a little too short, wrote a list of things I never fought for, called my mom just to hear her voice, and walked outside without checking yours. No one's waiting on the other side, but I'm still gonna try. I'm getting back to me, slow and soft and quietly, learning how to breathe without your name in every beat. It's not revenge or some big speech, just small things like peace. I'm getting back to me. Ooh, oh, oh. I burned the shirt you left behind. It didn't smell like you this time. Played a song I used to skip. It didn't break me, not one bit. I don't miss you, but I miss the girl who believed she could change the world. Now she's coming back, one step at a time. I'm getting back to me in open space and quiet streets, loving all the parts I used to hide from someone who never tried. It's not about you, and it's finally free. I'm getting back started writing this last night when the rain hit just right. Your name came out of nowhere, stayed like it had the right. I didn't mean to say too much, but silence makes a poet of love. And maybe this is selfish, but I needed to say it once. You won't read it, you won't know, but I'll write it just so I can let you go. Dear you, I still wear the hurt like it fits, like I earned every word. You left without a storm, but the silence was worse. I begged the sky, but it didn't reverse. So I'm writing this now with no one to send it to. A letter I'll fold and bury where I buried you. You probably don't think of me, not in the way I still do. I see you in second-hand jackets and songs I skip halfway through. I don't blame you for leaving, just for making it feel okay, like we didn't just end but slowly faded away. Maybe you were never mine, maybe that's the real line. Dear you, I loved you more than I said, but you didn't ask and I left it unread. You moved on and I stayed back, writing stories in the white between the black. So I'm writing this now with no one to send it to. A letter I'll fold and bury with the you I knew. I told myself just one more day, but I knew I already had you. Didn't ask for all of me, but I gave the part I swore I'd hide. You said you're safe, and somehow I believed it.
It wasn't loud or sudden, just soft and steady.
I let you in through the smallest crack.
You didn't rush, you didn't knock, you just waited. I let you in without a promise, but with everything I'd let. I don't flinch when you say my name. I don't freeze when your hand reaches mine. I don't look back as much as I used to.
I still carry the ache, but it doesn't own me now.
I let you in the way light enters through morning quiet but full. I let you in and it feels like something I don't wanna lose. So stay if you mean it.
moved your books last weekend to make space I won't use. I folded the blanket, but your shape still comes through. I don't play our playlist, but I still know the order. Funny how the silence is louder when it's older. You're still quiet here in the mirror, in the hall, in the click of the heater that no longer warms at all. You're not haunting, but you're not gone, and I'm still talking to your echo at dawn. Leave one lamp on, like it's for you, but I tell myself it's just habit, not truth. I think I'm healing, then you show up in the way I pause before saying I'm fine. You're still quiet here, not loud, not cruel, just present in everything I undo. You left with grace, but forgot your trace, and I live in a house you still have home. You said we'd figure it out, but you were already halfway out. I saw it in the way you stopped reaching for my hand. You smiled like you didn't lie, but your eyes couldn't hold mine. I knew it in the quiet when you didn't ask me to stay. You never needed words to hurt, you just needed silence first. You knew, and you let me love you anyway. You knew, and you watched me break each day. You kissed me, knowing it was the end, but you didn't say a single thing. You knew, and you let me sing alone. You laughed at all my fears, then left me crying in the rear view. Your jacket's still on my chair, but you never look back here. I waited by the door, thought maybe you'd turn around, but your silence was louder than goodbye. You knew, and you let me hold on too long. You knew, but you needed me to feel strong. You left me without saying a word, and still I wrote you into every song. You knew, but you never chose me.
soft answers, and you filled them with silence. I held the room together, but the cracks learned your name. I stayed with everything I had, and you left with nothing said. I stayed lighter than you left. I gave more than you let in, let in. I waited like a door you never knocked on, and that was the last thing I kept. You smiled like the air meant more than I did, and I forgave it too many times to count. You didn't break me, you just never held me. I stayed louder than you left, and now I'm done echoing what you won't say. I gave enough to feel empty, but now I want full. So don't